Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome back, my brothers and sisters in Islam and viewers of IQRA TV. We've been talking about the Professional Muslim Institute, an organization that was set up by Jawed Bashir, my guest today, and some of his other colleagues over 10 years ago, to bring people from the Muslim community who are professionals, who are in business, who had achieved success in different fields, to bring them together to act as a group who could provide mentorship and role models to other young Muslims in the schools and within the education system or the business structure as well. So we've been talking about the PMI, and Jawed has been very kindly giving us some background information about it and some of the work that they've been doing. Now, you mentioned, you've run events in the past. You've had over 5,000 people come through to your events over the past 10 years. I mean, and you mentioned that you're having an event on the 20th of September. Where is that event taking place? I know it's in Bradford, but whereabouts in Bradford?
It's taking place at Anam's restaurant.
Anam's restaurant.
Yeah, and the idea for the event is to, again, like we discussed before the break, is to promote, honor Adil Rashid, the cricketer for England, and also welcome the new Vice Chancellor of University of Bradford. Can I just go back to the event for the PMI? So one of the side benefit of PMI, which we don't promote openly, but there has been successful matrimonial marriages out of that.
Oh, right.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. We don't promote it,
and
we don't publicize it. But alhamdulillah, because what's happening is, you see, there is a difficulty and growing issue in our community.
Definitely.
Particularly amongst professional Muslims and particularly professional females. So they spend the time getting themselves educated, and by the time they're educated, and they will not find the match in the community. So where would they go? Because in other communities they have other networks and
so
other.
This is becoming like a dating service.
No. We're not promoting that, and it's not dating service as well.
Sounds like it.
No, it's not. Okay, we don't promote it. It's not dating site.
Just make sure you understand that.
Okay, so
it's not a dating service. It's a professional network institute.
But one thing, as a result of meeting somebody or some person there, okay, in a halal way, okay, and they might want to follow that contact through, and alhamdulillah, last few years we had 4 successful marriages out of it.
Subhanallah.
Yeah, so we don't promote it, we don't encourage it.
That's not your aim.
That's not the aim. That's one of the benefit, because obviously they're saying, okay, we met somebody at the event, and now the parents go involved, and now everything is on board, you see. Okay,
that's really good.
Okay, because now problem is, a lot of community in our particularly Muslim community, there is an issue of finding the suitable partners. So where would you go? Okay, a lot of professional boys and girls would not marry from back home, saying there's a difference of mentality and education and all that. So and there's nobody within their own community or their own network, so they will have difficulty. So which is better than going into this shadi.com websites and all that, you see. Okay, so which is I mean, I'm not okay, but as a result of that, and which in a halal way, people have actually ended up.
Well, I think that's a very good.
So that's one
outcome.
Of the so one of the outcome.
Very good outcome.
Okay, and we don't encourage it, we don't promote it, and we don't. Okay, but if and a lot of time, a lot of people ask me as well. Say, I have a quiet word saying, okay, do you know anybody? We're looking for a suitable partner, or somebody we're looking for our daughter. Do you know anybody from that same background? So alhamdulillah, and then sometimes the boys they ask me same thing as well. So I give them leads, and then they can do their own halal way. But it's not that we promote it, and please, our viewers.
As I said, please make sure you don't. I know you use the term dating service.
No.
But it is not a dating service.
It's not a dating service.
It's an offshoot.
Well, also if people want to have that sort of a confidential service, I mean, they can always ask me or ask our members, saying, okay, we're looking for a suitable partner, and this is a criteria. We might have somebody. We also got a list of people.
So in your membership, I mean, do you have to fill a form in? Do you have to register with the organization?
Yeah, well,
it's provide your details.
I mean, the only detail we like from people is the email address, okay, and the names, obviously, and that's initially. So we can keep them on the contact list. So when there's an event taking place, we can send them emails about the event. Okay, but like I said, if they're interested in getting involved in other aspects, then obviously we want more information from them. But like any event they go to, we just need the email address and the name and the company where they're coming from. So if they want to say, okay, sometimes we get companies coming to us saying, okay, we want to meet up some other lawyers from same background, and then what we try to match them on the day. No, not for day. This is some separate.
Yeah, you mean
this is for like mentoring,
networking between lawyers.
Yeah, it's like mentoring or coaching
Yeah, yeah.
amongst them,
Yeah.
and accountants and everything else. You see, so for that purpose, we just need that information
Right.
on board. You see. Well,
I mean, I think subhanallah, you know, obviously if it benefits the community,
yes.
in the way you say it has benefited the community,
Well, like I
and
said,
individuals.
yeah, four marriages have come
Subhanallah.
out of PMI,
All right.
and that's a successful, alhamdulillah. And they've been going on for 5 years at least or so, which means that they are, you know, sustainable. You see.
Yeah.
Okay.
Subhanallah. May Allah give them even more
but
strength.
but like I said, you know, if there are people who are interested and obviously they can have a quiet word with me or anybody else in the team, and then.
So how do they contact you? I know you said social media, PMIs on social media.
Yeah.
You know, Facebook, Instagram, things like that. But I come back to the point. Somebody, you know, a Neanderthal like me,
Yes.
right, who's not very savvy on these things, how would I contact you? I mean, I know you, so it's okay. But if somebody is watching, sitting at home thinking, right, I need to contact Bashir, you know, Javed Bashir.
Well, they can have my telephone number,
Right.
which I mean, or they can ring the studio. I'll leave my number in the studio.
Okay.
And they can ring here and you see, because the only difficulty is if I give my number on
Exactly, if you do it
then
on
I'll
live.
get floods of telephone
Yeah,
calls.
yeah.
You might be able to.
So if you're really interested in learning more about PMI
Yes.
and the work that it does, and obviously it does a lot of good work here. Now we found out about something else, you know, that is sort of as an offshoot, but a positive that's come out of there. Please ring us on 01274 214 299, and we will pass on Bashir Javed's sort of contact details to you. But I mean, just coming back, I mean, obviously, I said it's not a dating service, and I want viewers to understand that. But in terms of the networking opportunity, it is a fantastic opportunity for Muslims from professional backgrounds, lawyers, doctors, solicitors, pharmacists, whatever they are, to come and share some of their ideas, some of their thoughts, some of their concerns, some of their aspirations. And do you have within your events facilities for that to happen?
Yes,
you have breakout sessions.
I mean, we have sessions where people make presentations. Normally, the guest speakers we invite who's a positive role model. We had the likes of the Naz Shah, we had Barnas Warsi in the past, Nazir Afzal, Qari Asim, Christiana Bakr, and Lord Nazir, and so many of the big names who actually attended our events in the past for the last 10 years or so, and also is opportunity for them to network with other people, exchange business cards, and have a discussion, and quite a few of them will follow up after the event as well. And so by email.
Where were you 30 years ago when I was an assistant director in local government?
Well,
I was a senior manager, and I was the only black Muslim person,
yes,
and I had nobody else to turn to.
That's it.
To say, where can I go and share my thoughts, my ideas.
Well, it's better late than never.
Exactly, I agree with you. Yes.
And sometimes somebody will. I mean, a friend of mine. I'll give you an example. A friend of mine who used to run his financial mortgages business, and a lot of people say, well, I need some mortgage, and I know who to refer to, you see. And somebody will ring me all the time, I need a good employment lawyer. And I know a friend of mine who chairs our Yunus Luna, for example.
Right, yes.
So I refer him to him, you see. So and so there's already people in the system who are very well known for their professions, family lawyers, employment lawyers, and property dealers, and also. So we can always is passing the information.
You must be a very busy man then.
Well, it's a very demanding role.
It must be, yes. And you're doing it yourself.
I'm doing free of charge.
My goodness, Allah gives you even more strength. But let me just turn to something else. I mean, we talked about role models, particularly role models for young people, and also portraying a positive image of the Muslim community in our region. Now we have in this region, by the grace of Allah, a lot of Muslim business people who have made real success of their businesses. And I've named some of the businesses in the past, but you know them in Bradford as well, in Leeds. Now, these business people, obviously they worked very, very hard to build their businesses up. Some of them are £100 million a year businesses, ranging from 5 million to £100 million a year businesses, and even more. I mean, one of my friends, I've been told, is now worth, or his business is worth nearly £1 billion.
Okay.
Right? Not far from here. Now, Are these people, like you say, putting something back in the community, other than sponsoring events and giving money to charity? Are they coming forward and standing in front of young people and saying, I've managed to do this, this is how I did it, if you work hard you could do it as well?
We had a few people from Bradford who actually doing that in the past, you see, but there is still a big deficit of successful people, particularly from the business community, is finding the time, and like I said before, so they're not coming as much as you would expect from a lawyer or accountant, because they would find time, because if they're working for a company, so the company will send them as putting something back in the community, and also as a result of that they're getting some business out of it as well, because by going in the community they're introducing themselves to these people, and hopefully the idea is that they will get business in return as well. So this is the more about small businesses will find difficulty in
I'm talking about the bigger businesses.
Even bigger businesses.
I mean, the bigger business. I mean, these are people who've got lots of staff behind them.
Yeah, even bigger businesses. I mean, like you said before, I mean, they were very, very generous in contributing for Kashmir, for
money giving is not an option.
It's not an option, but it's finding the time and commitment for them to put something back in the community.
So how can you? I mean, these are the type of people we want to come in front of our young kids in schools and colleges and inspire them.
Yes.
Right. And how can we get those people on board? What do we need to do to try and get these people on board? I mean, what sort of initiatives have you tried? Now, I'm sure you've gone begging to these people and said, "Speak Allah ke waste aa jao." What else can we do?
Well, like again, you see, we need to think about getting some sort of a network of these businesses only, where they can, they will come and then we can get young.
Do you feel that there's a divide where they feel that they're a business community and this is a professional community? You feel that there's a divide there?
I think as well, because obviously the professional community are mainly educated people who have gone through the education route and they become lawyers or doctors or accountants. Where business people not necessarily educated. So they sort of run a business.
They're educated at a different level.
Different level, you see, and not necessarily. I know some
not through colleges and universities.
Yes. So I know some people they become millionaire, but they've never been to a college.
I mean, it's like Richard Branson.
So they think, obviously it's difficult to motivate them as well. And
is that the issue? Is it that they feel that because they don't have a degree, they may be looked at differently?
I don't know, but people like Sir Anwar Pervez, for example.
Amjad Pervez.
No, Anwar Pervez, the guy who was Best Way Cash and Carry. No, he doesn't have a degree, but he's got honorary degree from Bradford. Because he's done so well, and people like Mumtaz.
By the way, congratulations on your honorary degree.
Thank you.
You got one as well. So, in fact, I forgot to mention that a few weeks ago. Javed Bashir also was honoured by the University of Bradford with an honorary degree. So with Manoj Joshi, by the way, congratulations to him as well.
Okay, so people like Mumtaz Panos, for example, he was given honorary degree. So although he's not went through the formal education, but he's done well and achieved business successful. So obviously we need to get these people on board, you see. And like I said, it's not it's easy thing to do, you see, and it's a full-time job, and we need to get everybody to make that effort in getting these people involved as well, you see. So like I said, at the moment we're doing what we can in our capacity, but like it's not one person, it's everybody's responsibility. It's a very well-known African saying that it takes a whole village to educate a child, you see, and that's the mentality we need to have, you see. There's not only Maulana Sahab, you send to masjid, then it's not Maulana Sahab's responsibility, it's not Saji's responsibility, it's everybody's responsibility.
Exactly, I agree with
and I think that's what we discussed last time as well. This is why we're failing, you see. We don't take that our responsibility seriously. We give everything to that person, saying, okay, bacha school gaya hai, so it's school's responsibility. And going to masjid, masjid mein gaya, it's masjid responsibility. But unless you take everybody's responsibility, nobody will. Because like I remember a few years ago when we were kids, and so anything we do out in the community, and we used to get reported home. Before we come back home, parents knew what we've been up to, you see. But nowadays people don't do that, okay, and they just turn blind eye. So if you keep turning blind eye to these things, and then things will only get worse.
I mean, I remember if I went to madrasa and the Maulana Ustad beat me up, I would dare not go and tell my parents that the Ustad ने मुझे आज मारा क्योंकि वो दोबारा मुझे मारते कि तुमने ज़रूर कुछ गलती की इसलिए तुम्हें मार पड़ी. आजकल तो अगर उस्ताद मारते हैं तो माँ बाप उस्ताद को मारने के लिए जाते हैं.
And then also safeguarding issue as well in coming place.
Exactly.
And to means nowadays हमारे जो उस्ताद हैं, because I work with ustads all over the country, and they're scared of children rather than children scared of ustad, you see. So वो डरते हैं कि हमारी रिपोर्ट ना लग जाए, तो इसलिए जो है ना, so it's a balance. So what I'm saying is, जैसे पहले बोला ना, African saying is he takes a whole village to educate a child. So unless we all play our part, everybody needs to play the part.
Oh, definitely.
And that's what we can make a society. And unfortunately, this is what we're neglecting at the moment.
Inshallah, that will turn around, inshallah, as well. Let me just turn to something else. I mean, I saw some images that you very kindly sent me, others sent me, about this event in Dubai, the Dubai 100 or whatever it was called. Was that a sort of PMI type of event on an international level?
Yeah, what we try and do was to reach out and branch out our model and link up with some business community in Dubai as well. There are very successful Asian, Muslim business people settled in Dubai, and there's a lot of potential in the near future, especially if this Brexit things happens, which is likely to take place in the next few weeks, you see. And there's a lot of opportunity where people from UK businesses can link up with businesses in UAE and vice versa. And so they are all looking forward to that relationship. The language is not a barrier there, because most of them speak Urdu and English there. So and the culture is it's a very similar place. Food is not a problem there as well. So people love to. There's some countries they are like, for example, Turkey. Language is a problem because a lot of people want to do business in Turkey and China, but the language is a problem barrier. But in Dubai and UAE, language is not a problem and barrier. And similar. So there is a lot of potential.
So this was a networking opportunity to link up people in this country with businesses in Dubai. And how did that go?
Very good, alhamdulillah. We had people attending from UK, some of our members from here. We had Dr. Tariq Chauhan from Manchester. He runs the healthcare program. We had Sadiq Patel, a lawyer from Dewsbury, attending from as well as a few of the academics and all that. So which is good initial start. And next year there'll be Expo 2020, which is a big opportunity for a lot of businesses to get involved.
This is going to be in Dubai,
as well, you see. So hopefully in the near future we can get some Dubai businesses to have their exhibitions in Bradford or somewhere else, you see, and so promote some of things happening there as well. There's already a very large expat community from UK living in Dubai, especially the young professionals. I meet them all the time, you see, and so there's opportunity there for them as well. And so I hope things will go well in Dubai, because there is a sort of news which I read a few weeks ago that is about to decline in terms of economic and all that, you see. But I think in terms of construction, in terms of building into businesses, every time I go I see more things happening, you see.
So it's always happening. I mean, I went to Dubai. I must admit I've not been to Dubai for a very long time, but the new Dubai is not my cup of tea. I prefer the old Dubai, where it was very traditional. But inshallah, you never know. But initiative, I think other people in other parts of the world are picking up the example of setting up a PMI over there as well, I suppose.
Yeah, well, I mean, alhamdulillah, we had people ringing us from European countries, Muslims here, our things on social media, or we don't have some things in there, can you help us and set up there in London and other parts of the country as well. But alhamdulillah, like I said, is at the moment, because of manpower, lack of resources, we kept our model locally, because we, rather than spreading out too thinly, we rather do somewhere where we make a difference, you see.
Right. So what are your future plans then?
Well, the future plan is we're holding this quite big event in December. We're planning.
Where's that going to be?
In Bradford.
In Bradford.
Bradford, where we're going to have 100 influential people. We're going to get award to, and so basically people who have make differences. In different categories, in business, in education, in arts, in sports, and in IT, in healthcare. So we'll have 10 different categories, so where people are making differences in their own fields, and so they will be honoured in the award. We will have a publication of 100 influential people in the UK, which will be obviously launched on the day as well, with the biographies and how they donate. And then out of the 100 people, 1 from each category will be given award in the night as being outstanding person. So we're looking at getting about 1,000 people to this event, and from all over the UK, and so that'll be somewhere.
So how do people nominate people for within the different categories?
There is a website. It's influential100.co.uk.
Right.
So they can go on the
influential100.co.uk.
Right. They go there, can nominate people there, and obviously we will promote the event on the website as well. And so they can take part in that. But
so it's not under PMI then?
Well, it's a branch of PMI,
but
it's not under PMI is there. It's like a parent organization. Then this is one of the project of PMI.
Right, I see. So if I go on PMI, it won't be listed there.
No,
will it be listed there?
Influential 100, yes, it will be listed there.
So I can look for it. So again, I mean, I'm sure in our viewers, the thousands of viewers that we have, you must know somebody that you feel deserves to be recognized as one of the 100 influential Muslims. Either they've been working in the medical field, in the legal field, in the criminal justice system, in the security service, particularly in policing, for example, or in social care, or in business. And if you know somebody, please go onto the website as Javed has said, and put their names forward. And is this one of the first times that Muslim businesses, Muslim individuals have been recognized?
Well, obviously there are other programs taking place in other parts of the country on a smaller scale, but this will be the biggest one up in North.
Right. So is this regional or is it national?
National.
It's a national. So it's a national award ceremony. Yes. A national gathering of people, influential people.
So we, sorry to
go on.
So we go likes of Abdul Rashid, who will be in the sports category. We go likes of James Khan, from the business industry, Mr. Anwar Pervez from the business industry. So these are people who are there, who are the big tycoons and making a big difference, you see. And so we obviously we want these people to, so we can exemplify them to the rest of the community, the societies. Okay, these people, and now they've donated, and now they can come and share a story with you how they donate, and hopefully they can give you some tips. How they make it, and because a few years ago we had somebody from the Secret Millionaire TV program, Channel 4, a guy called Mo Chowdhury, who's very well established businessman in Staffordshire. So he came to PMI event and he gave his story how he made it, and which was quite inspirational, because obviously one of the things is you have to remember is that things don't happen overnight. So you need to be patient. When things happen, you be persistent. Okay, and you need to have passion in place as well. So there's 3 P's which you have to have in place to be successful. You need to have passion, persistent, and patience. You see. So you've got 3 things, and alhamdulillah, you can achieve anything. You see, and that's what was because there's no quick win.
No, I don't think anybody. I mean, very very rarely people will have overnight success unless you come up with something extraordinary and unique that is needed out there. It's like the young man, from Bolton, who came up with the iTeddy.
Yes.
He came up with this. We came up with this idea, and then sort of suddenly he went to Dragon's Den, and somebody invested in it, and that was it. The world is his oyster now. And we have many many people like that who have not necessarily gone to Dragon's Den, but they worked very hard, they worked persistently and with patience, as Javed says, and had made a success of themselves. But Javed, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
It's been really interesting, really inspirational, and I'm sure our viewers have been inspired by what they've heard from the work that you do. May Allah give you even more strength and more ability to expand this network, and more our Muslim professionals join the work that you're doing, because we desperately do need to change the image of the Muslim community in this country. There's been a very, very huge negative impact from the media about the Muslim community in this country. I've spoken about this before. I've told you about the reports that have come out which have shown how the media has portrayed the Muslim community in an extremely negative light. They're not going to change themselves. We need to change them, and we can work, as Javed says, through the PMI and other organizations, to put forward a narrative which shows that we are a community that is responsible, that is civil, we adhere to the laws of this country, and that we are concerned about all the people, all the citizens of this country. So I hope you've enjoyed the program. Thank you, Javed, for coming. Inshallah, we'll bring you back.
Sure.
I hope you've enjoyed it. Inshallah, I'll see you next week. Take care. May Allah protect you and guide you. And please make dua for me and everybody else. Jazakallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.